Today I'm here to show you Rene of Paris Star. We are going to talk all about this style, and I've got some thoughts. I'll share them. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. I'm partnering with name brand wigs to bring you this review. I'm going to be honest about this wig, but I want you to know that Name Brand Wigs is a wonderful online retailer. They carry all the major name brands, and I can save you 30% off this and all Rene of Paris, Orchid collection, all of their collection wigs. Let's take a look at this one from all sides, and then we'll talk about this one. All right, friends, this one's been a real struggle for me. Here's the thing. I recognize I have a fiber poking me in the eye right now. I do not know where it's coming from because this isn't long enough to do that, but all right, so I know that we are all different and preferences are all across the board. And I have learned over the past 6 years that there really is a head for almost every wig. And there have been wigs that I've reviewed that I disliked greatly. And then I would hear from some of you and find out it's your absolute favorite wig. It reminds you of your bio hair. I've met women who are wearing wigs that I didn't particularly care for, but that woman loved it. We see people out in the wild all the time with hair that we wouldn't have on our own head or colors. And so I want you to think about that as I'm telling you about this wig. I think there are some challenges with this piece. I think Rene of Paris has done better, to be honest. But I'm also grateful that companies will push the envelope on styles that aren't, you know, the most trendy or the most mainstream, so that women who are looking for specific types of styles would be able to find them. This is one of those styles, in my opinion. Number one, the lace is really long on this one. So we do have a lace front, but it's so long. Like, look at that, you guys. And it's kind of sticking out at the sides. This lace reminds me of the kind of lace that you would find on like a traditional budget-friendly, like an Amazon wig, or from a budget-friendly synthetic wig retailer. Typically, you have to cut the lace on those. That's not common on major name brand wigs at all. I really don't see that. This one, though, I do believe everybody who would wear this would have to cut that lace. I just think it's too obvious. The good news is I have a video showing you how to do that. I would use a pinking shears on this one and create a scalloped edge because the lace is a little visible. So that in of itself is not a reason to judge this wig harshly. Just because it's different from all the other wigs in the major name brand doesn't mean that it's unusual. A lot of wigs you have to cut the lace, so just be aware of that on this one. You know, the other thing is this is a real shag cut. It does look like a grown out pixie to me. I do think there are going to be some women who this was how they wore their bio hair, but I think this would benefit from a little styling. My favorite styling cream to use with short wigs is Jon Renau Peace Out Cream. I actually have a video showing how I style a short wig in lots of different ways, and I use Jon Renau Peace Out Cream in that video. I just think piecing out some of these, because there are lots of layers, you can get this spiky if you want to, and I think that cream would help a ton. To really kind of shag it up even more. So to me, this wig feels as though it's going to need a little more work out of the box than a lot of the major name brands. Although most wigs I have to work on almost all the wigs I wear. There's usually something I need to do to them. So that's not unusual either. I just wanted to point that out. So here's that lace. You can see it's extended and it's long. So again, just watch that video where I show you how to cut the lace if you get this piece or another piece where you feel like the lace is too long. Maybe you buy a budget wig and you find often that lace is really long, like down to here. So cutting lace is not in and of itself odd. We have a center part, soft ear tabs with bendable stays, extended nape, Velcro adjusters, and the rest is open wefted. I would say this is kind of a medium density piece. It's definitely not light density. And so, you know, playing with it, there isn't Permatease in here though, like no traditional Permatease. It's really, you can feel straight down to cap. So the question I think is, are you looking for like the shaggiest of shags? And, you know, are you willing to cut the lace and play with your wig? Because if you are, I mean, this is definitely a very kind of spiky, layered shag. And if you wanted to see that part, you could play with it and pluck that part line. It's really densely knotted, so you can't really see it. I mean, if you're gonna wear this kind of spiked up, then it doesn't really matter, but it's there in case you do. Another thing I want to point out is this is heat friendly, so you can take heat to this. And when I look at the product pictures on the website, I think they've styled those pieces because they do look super cute. So I think using a hot comb on it, maybe taming some of this if you don't want all the spikiness, working with this front to get it to lay a little bit more naturally, I think that would go a long way in making this one a little bit more polished looking. The hardest thing for me in doing these reviews is keeping my own opinion out of the review if it's a negative opinion. It's really hard to determine if it's a style challenge that I'm having or an actual problem with the wig. I've had this wig for almost 2 months and I've really been studying. I've watched reviews because I want to give every wig fair treatment, but I want to be honest with you guys as well. This wig doesn't look as good as the product pictures, not the one that I have, and I do wonder why. Is it that they styled them? Is it that I got a piece that wasn't great? I don't know. All I can tell you is on the wig journey, you will sometimes get a wig that looks nothing like the review you saw or the pictures that you saw. And here's what we have to do as wig wearers. We have to learn what we can work with and what we can't. We have to learn what we're willing to do and accept with wigs and what we're not. I have had wigs that I've had to work a lot on. I've had to take heat to them. I've had to trim them. I've had to do a lot of things. And after doing those things, they became one of my favorite wigs. So with this wig, this is the only one that I've seen. I don't know if I got one that looks worse than others. So I recommend you buy from a company that has a good return policy. Name brand wigs allows returns. And over time, you're going to learn what types of things you're willing to work with. Trimming up bangs, taking a little heat to a wig to get lift, versus I just can't work with this wig, if that makes sense. So on this piece, I'm just struggling with it. If you love hairstyles like this, I am thrilled for you, and you may have just found a wig that you've been looking for, because it's really different from a lot of the other wigs on the market. But just know that stuff like this happens, and we just learn. From every experience we learn. And so hopefully this gave you some ideas. This is real life, you guys. I'm never gonna lie to you about a wig, ever. But I'm also gonna be really careful that if something I don't like it, that's total opinion. And I don't know that there's always a place for negative opinions on this journey, because I know that some of you are struggling so much, and the last thing I ever want to do is voice a negative opinion that hurts you. So don't hear me saying that this is a terrible, terrible style if it's a style that you would love. I'm not sure that this piece I have is representing this style the best. And looking at the other pictures that they've shared, I'm not sure mine looks like that. And that's all I have to say about that. Let's talk about fit, and then I'm going to move on to color. So this wig is fitting me pretty big. I have a lot of extra cap up here, and it's really loose on my head. So I would say this is running very true to average. The Orchid collection from Rene of Paris is more of a fashion collection. I mean, this is more of a fashion collection. So you're finding styles that are a little bit more kind of out of the mainstream, colors that are a little bit more out of the mainstream, and fashion wigs tend to run a little bigger because in general, the thought is medical wigs, women with hair loss will wear those, and fashion wigs, every woman might wear them, even women with hair. So those caps tend to be a little bit bigger to accommodate for the fact that there may be hair underneath them. In the case of a wig like this that's big on me, I would cinch it in and I would wear a wig grip with it. I have a number of wig grips that I've reviewed. I'll link a few videos below in case you have never heard of a wig grip, and that will give you some ideas because they're really beneficial. All right, we made it to color. Even if this wig is not your cup of tea, Coffee Latte, that's the name of this color. A lot of wigs come in this, so learning about the color can help you with another wig. So what we have here is, this is how they describe it. Cappuccino, which is a number 4, so the base is a 4, which is a dark brown. And then we've got a medium auburn highlight throughout. You can see that. That's a 29. And then we've got some medium gold blonde highlights, and there's one right there. And they're saying that's a 27B. So we've got highlights, both blonde and auburn, on a dark brown base. The color is stunning. It's so fun. And I'll tell you, when I'm looking at colors, I'll go on YouTube and I'll just search the brand name and the color and find all the videos I can find. Even if the wig isn't what I'm looking at, it's still helpful to see the color. So hopefully this is helpful. Beautiful, kind of a dark auburn highlighted piece. Let's get outside so you can see this color outside. I'd love to know your thoughts. How did I do? I mean, gosh, you guys, I want to help. I just want to help. I never want to promote a wig or sell a wig. I just want to give you all the information. I don't want to lead you astray, and I also don't want my opinion to lead you astray either. So I'd just love to know how I did. All right, guys, let's get outside. I'll see you soon. Don't forget about name brand wigs. All right, friends, straight out of the box. Tag is still on. I have not even attempted to play with this one yet. In the summer, I get way more opportunity to do outside looks, a lot more hours of daylight, but I do not this time of year. So right now, I'm just grabbing all the wigs out of their boxes and I'm getting the color done. So, you know what it looked like out of the box, right? Here's this beautiful, rich color. Hopefully she'll turn out cute. See you soon. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.